Greetings and welcome to Factorio. I'm Dgray, and today we continue our let's play of Krastorio 2, where we last episode just got pretty much the last of our basic sciences up and running, and we can finally start to do a ton of research. So the plan for this episode is that we will start to do a lot of the research we need to get things going. And as we saw last episode, we just got the logistic robots, provider, buffer, and active provider chests, I think, up and running. So that means I will start to use robots a bit more than we have done before. The reason for that is, and as many of you know from my entry level to Megabase, is that I want to try and make cool designs inside these grid/cells, or what we want to call them, and not having to worry about getting resources all over the place. So a lot of you did talk about it back in episode 5, 4 or 3 or something like that, about how I would utilize the robots. And at that point I was kind of hesitant about doing it, since it would take away some of the ways of figuring out how to get resources around. So the way I want to plan it going forward is something I've tried before, and that is pretty much making these grid cells, but having a main bus-like system, for example with the trains, where I have certain drop-off points, where the trains go in and drop off basic resources, and then continue along, dropping off different parts of the base. So I'm only transporting around high volume items by train, and low volume items can be transported by robots. I think that could be a somewhat cool thing to do, and then spend some time on making cool designs inside the cells, what's called with belts and robots to move things around, depending on how we do it. And I think that'll be good. One thing I did notice as well, let's see if you remember the shortcut, that is that you can change the way robots work in Krastorio. If you press Shift M and hover one, you can change what it does. So normal mode, if you look on the right, we have a supplier 50-50 and a construction area 110 by 110. If you go to logistic mode, it changes to 33 by 33 and construction 00, and the other way around 110 by 110 and then no supply area. So that is something I'll kind of have to figure out if I'll use or not, but it does indeed open up a lot of capabilities for our robots and how we can plan our base. But right now, just by doing this, we will cover our entire base in logistic systems, but we could do it somehow to limit, what's it called, our supply area, and making sure we have a whole row just for trains, and then maybe cutting off some of the supply area here to make dedicated cells. But that's still something I'm trying to figure out. So enough of me rambling, let's get on with what I have planned. So starting robots is the main thing, and the other one is starting research, and let's see where we should start. I'm gonna make military tech as well in this episode, since that is the last thing we need to get all of the basic things done. We can start to use beacons. We'll have to figure out the new power system and how all these different kind of things work. So there's a lot of things to learn still. A railgun turret, singularity labs and stuff like that. That is gonna be very, very cool. So let's just start some research and let's see if our base can handle it, because I do think our power is starting to get to a point where we will have to look at that quite a bit. So let's just get a few of these out the way, so we have a bit more research, some battery, maybe some more of these. And oh, then we can get advanced exoskeletons to move even faster than we are already. That is something I like to go towards. So firstly, I think I'll start to expand out this way in terms of how I want my base. So maybe you can do like a supply area right here in the middle, going this way. Oh, Are they starting to get through? Yeah, we will have to get military science. The biters are getting quite close. So I might do maybe a train supply area this way. So what if just mark this as railway tracks? So I don't forget. There. Let's just, let's do 2 in a row. That was of course the wrong place I did it. Right here. 1, 2, so know which way to go. So this might be a rail track. We might have to move these then, but something that goes this way. Or up and down, depending, something like that. So let's firstly just set up a small cell with military science. I think that could be quite cool, just to see how we would do it in the way I have planned. So military tech, electronic components, black tech cards, and biter research data. Made in, I'm guessing, just a normal lab. Normal assembly machine. Let's just check. That's where we have military tech cards. And then I pretty much want to get everything done in the cell, making this our primary thing, where we just have a few things flown in. So we'll make blank tech cards here, we'll make biter research data, and electronic components we'll get from somewhere else, since we have a nice setup for that, and that is a rather long production chain. So let's see here. Let's steal what we normally do. And bear with me while I figure out a good way to do this. Let's see. We'll need the 2. We'll need a copper wire. You're right here. We'll need the blank cards. There we are. And we want something in between them. Could move it over 1 more or 2 more to have it all situated in this cell with the input. So there we go. Making you our blank tech cards. We'll do long-handed inserters in between these. And just do a little requested chest like this. Requesting copper and iron. So if we do this, I would like for you to get copper and iron. Might be a bit overkill doing this. And this should get from the closest place they can, delivering into this one. Then we'll get it a small amount of power. We'll probably just do it right here. Giving it 2 inputs. Let's go with fast ones for now. And that will give us a blank tech cards. That we'd like to combine with the next thing we need. Let's see here. For this one, that'll be the biter ones, and the biter ones requires coke, biomass, and steel. And those 3 things we can pretty much just get flown in to get things on the belt. So how should we do this? Steel, coke, and biomass. Direct insertion will be overkill. So maybe on each side of the belt we can do research. Oh, that takes quite a long time to make. This requires 1 every 20, so this can supply 2.5 of these. We could go with an even 2, so having this in between. So what if we do... Let's see. Let's take up too much room doing this. We'll have to do it one over. It might be a bit too much. Or getting things flown in by robot could also be a way to do it, if we so desired. So let's try this. It's always nice when you try something new. You'll have to figure out a good design for it. So this will now make 5 every 40. This will need 2 every 40. That'll make 4 every 40. And then with a bit of a surplus, don't really mind that a lot. And then we have this one. Could we just do it into a passive one instead? Oh no, you have to stay. So we'll do here instead. And you can go into a passive one, supplying over to these. Right here. Since you can supply enough, you can get a long-handed right there. So the only thing you move is in between these two. Pretty much moving in two things. So request, request, passive, passive, and then we'll do long, long, and let's see here. In, out, 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 out. We probably don't need, oh, we don't need out here, and we don't need out there. So how about something like that as a setup? And we just do this. Will that work to create these? That should make this possible to just stack downwards in a somewhat orderly fashion. Or move it down one to have them stack below each other. So instead of, no, we have to have them here. But what if we do that? Can we then fit in two of these? We can. How would you set up like this? And let's try that for now and see if it will work the way I want it to. So all these three things will have to get flown in. So we should be able to do that. So that will get in. The blank we get from here to here, that is exactly what I want. This will fill up. We'll have to get you, maybe just upgrade you a bit. Or keep you at 5. And then over here, we'll have to do the same setup. Could probably do with just one of them. And then we need steel as well. Probably doesn't need that much. Let's just get it to like 5 steel, 10 biomass, and 5 coke. Let's see, 5 of you, and 5 or 10 biomass. And the reason why I'm doing biomass is because I know we have a ton in storage, and let's just try and request what we have. So that means we should be able to take this one now and stamp it down to both places and get ourselves some military tech as soon as this one is done. So I'll just let this run, produce a bit, and then we'll figure out how to do this in the future and if it's a good setup or not. So far it feels somewhat strange doing this, but bear with me. I think it's gonna be very cool in the future when we get it running as I want to. We'll have to look at power quite soon as well, since that will start to be an issue when we have more things going. But let's just hook up a few things. Don't know if we need to expand this out more than we already am. Oh, I need to limit you at least. We could do it with what's it called? Some logistics in these to limit how much we buffer, so we don't buffer millions at a time. If you say we want like, I know we only buffer about 200 in each of these, so what if you just say we want to buffer 1,000 in case we need more in the future? I can't remember how much we need. But then we can say logistic network, connect up, only outputs if this one is less than, let's say, 1,000. Because if I then put something in different places, we'll make sure that even though I expand this out a lot, we won't have more than 1,000 buffered. And that is actually a quite good thing to do once in a while. But that was the military tech. And the biters are getting aggressive, so that is quite good to get up and running. And then we just fly it into here and make sure all of these get them. Firstly, oh, we can't remove you. Unless we can make substations. We can make substations. And can place them somewhere where they'll reach far enough. Might want to evaluate how we're doing this and maybe make it what's it called, full rover port. Or we can try something I haven't done in a while. I can't remember if it works. If we turn this around and go this way instead. And just get it in from the bottom. Will this work? Oh. Let's see if this will work if we just get it requested in from the bottom. That goes both ways, that is not good. So I might want to redesign this, moving it out so we can have a substation on each side. So maybe just moving this up a bit could solve it, or just make an entirely new science cell. Could make a science cell, just taking it from here and flying it in. To be honest, let's do that. So place you down here, and then make these the way I want them. Maybe a row of each. So if I take you, onto here to be honest, and like that. I'd like to steal this one to put in those. Then we'll do one requester in between. Wow, look at them. They are going mental. Oh, and I placed this wall completely wrong. Yeah, let's look at that in a minute. Right now I want to get this sorted first. And pretty much in these, we want all of the sciences. Just deconstruct. Let's take this row here. Just so we have some of the things we need. And then we'll start to buffer things. And a little power pole. Let's see here, where is the sciences? They are right here. So you'll need basic tech. You will need automation tech. Logistic. Military. And chemical, is that one the last one we have to use in this one? Yeah, chemical, military, logistic, basic. That is pretty much the setup of one of these. We can do this times 2, get some power in, and then this one should actually run the way we want to. And we can dismantle all of this we have running down here. So that means all of you can go away. And all of you can go away. And we can start to clear up some of this. And you will have to get a substation, or at least some power right here, if you want you to work. So this is pretty much what I'm gonna do. Here are some more labs just to get you running. Can't remember how many I had before. That is 16. Need 4 more. And there we are. Then we have a nice setup for this. And then we pretty much just need to get all of this into places. and figure out how we will buffer it is pretty much the main thing. Can just split these off into provided chests. I think that might be what we do. We want to get these as well. And we can do the same setup, just changing the basic out for utility and... Oh wait, did I set production to these as well? I didn't. So let's just get you over 1. You 2 to right there. And I would like you instead. And we will get you away and put in production and utility. So this will be our setup for this one. And that will be able to expand down as soon as we get the rest of the science sorted. So if we just do this, let's do the same amount. I think that was all of them we had in. Of course, I forgot to check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That seems correct. So now all I need to do is pretty much dismantle this entire setup we just built. But it will be better, trust me. So you can go away. All of that can go away. And all of these things we have going up right here, we will figure out how to get sorted somewhere else. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's all of them. And you can pretty much just continue up this way. So let's just say right here. And you will get a small split off. So I've put in a splitter. Saying, the reason I'm doing this, I'll show in a second. You'll output automation circuit to the left. And the rest to the right. Into our standard setup. 1, 2. There. And limit you to, let's just say 1 stack. That is what we're buffering. Let's do something like the same right here. You'll of course be utility instead. And you will be... Oh, that's just chemicals, that's fine. You can just go straight in. And 1, 2. And you can just go in like this. And then we just need the green one. And we can pretty much just do it right here. With this little thing. And there we are. That should be all of our science pretty much sorted. Making sure it all runs. And there we are. Then we have a very, very, very nice science cell that can support all the things we need. You can go away and you can move up here. And this is pretty much the start of our new robotic base. Some people hate robots. I absolutely adore robots. They make it so I can focus on building cool things and don't have to worry about all the maintenance that comes with running a base, since that is not something I enjoy spending time on. It also makes sure that we have room for the next tier of research when we get there. So now we'll just let this run, let it build up, and give us everything we need. Then we'll probably see what we'll start to lack when all of this is running full speed. Because right now it's still the red one, and that's probably because we have a lot buffered somewhere. There we are. Good. So that was pretty much fixing our science. That is us having military running. That is almost us doing an entire research tree. And that means we can start to go towards things I very much want. That being probably getting some artillery at some point, so we can actually kill the binders. And actually getting armor piercing rounds. That is something I've been looking forward to getting for a while. And tanks, and oh, look at all these delicious things. Let's do the other tank. Oh, is that an advanced tank? What can that one do? Probably something. Oh, that is way down the chain. That is not anywhere close to being at that point yet. So let's just get these done first. So while our science is going, how is our power looking? Somewhat good. But since I know we'll need a lot more, I want to move towards a more permanent, not permanent, but at least expanding out of steam power a bit more. Right now we have these running and they're working without an issue, but I kind of want to set up a new one over here where we'll just add in some more, what's it called, steam production. Pretty much going to clear out all the trees here and do a nice quick setup. Please take all those and go away. This as well. So I think we are buffering steam engines. They are right here. We are buffering 20. Let's get that a bit higher since we are going into the late game of the late part of the game. And I think it's about time we do that. This can support 1. I can support. We need 24 per side. We need 48 per side. We need 100 of these for 2 sides. And we need 48 for 2 sides. So if we buffer 150, we should be somewhat good in terms of setting up one whole thing at a time. So did I forget my car somewhere again? Oh, it's right here. Let's go over and set up a cool little steam setup as the last thing this episode. Since I don't want to run out of power, that would be very, very bad. And look at our little robots chucking along, making sure that all of this is working. And let's just connect it up a bit as well, so we don't have huge travel distance where they can't do anything. There we are. And then let's set up what's called 2 things. Firstly, I want to park the car down here, clear out these power poles, and just grab this little blueprint here. What if I just take this? Will be our things we go in. We can turn it this way so I don't have to. I'll do like this, and then we will just reverse the direction of the inputs. There we are. That will slowly get built. I'll then get myself 2 turbines, or wind turbines. I'll get my 2 offshore pumps, and I'll connect all of this up to water. Right here, can we then find 2 places for them? Maybe do this, and come on, little pump. We can get 2 right here. 1, 2. Get 2 turbines. 1, 2, and 1 power pole. So that will power everything we need. Then we'll need the water, right there. And here. Let's connect this up. That is double water flowing in. Now they just need for all of you to turn the other way. Nope, that is actually the right way it's going. I don't know why I wanted to turn it. But look at all this power we're gonna get now. I just need to hook this one up and transport in our coal. So you will disconnect. Not sure that was needed, but let's do it anyway. And get ourselves a little mining depot right there with a few outputs. Coal Here's 50 for you. Here is an output of that one. And let's drag that all the way down here. There we are. That should give us quite a bit more power as soon as everything gets up and running, because we are right at the edge of what we can support. So this is one way of making sure we don't run into issues. Yeah, I think that is rather good. That will at least supply us with all the power we need. Let's just mark it with steam engines. I think that'll be cool to have it all marked out. We'll have to move these some point. It's not at the best spot, so we could move it sometime in the future. Steam engine, and yeah, now everything is just flowing. We will be able to build up a ton of science, get a ton of research done, and then in the future, or in the future episodes, we'll start to expand quite quickly, and we will start to clear out a lot of all of these biters, because they are getting quite annoying. So look forward to that. I at least am, and I'm looking forward to seeing all the new things in the later part of this mod. It's gonna be great. So I'll end it here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you'll leave me a like on this video. It will help me out immensely. And if you're new to the channel, please remember to hit that sub button. It will help me out even more. And then I will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.